Well, good morning, everyone, or should I say good afternoon? Welcome to our Summer Leadership School course preview. My name is Tasha Carter, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today. I see we already have some people commenting that they've come in. Good afternoon, Dr. Christine Hall. Great to see you today on here. So, today we are in our last webinar for our summer leadership course preview. And just to kind of backtrack and let you know again, I'm Tasha Carter. I'm the owner of Maximize the Growth LLC. We're located in Montgomery, Alabama, and we specialize in trainings, coachings, speaking engagements, as well as consulting and facilitating. We hone in on the areas of leadership development, coaching, around effective communication and team building or team unity. And this summer, we decided to launch this summer school where we could literally have a place for leaders of all industries to come and learn some more about how to become better leaders. So we actually are literally unveiling four courses. And we did two prior webinars about this. The first one was how to become an effective communicator. The next one was how to develop the leader within. And so today we're going to talk about the last two in our summer leadership school. We're going to go through two of them. One's called Leading with the High Road, and this is all about breaking barriers and building bridges. And we're also going to do a preview of Grow Through What You Go Through, and this is all about chasing failure. And before I dig into these, I want to kind of let me talk about summer school for just a minute. Courses do start next week. They are live, they are on Zoom virtual. And so the way that our schedule is going to be broken down is on Tuesdays, we have two courses. We have from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be doing how to become an effective communicator. And then from 6:30 to 7:30 on Tuesday, that's where we're going to be doing the Leading with the High Road class, Breaking Barriers and Building Bridges. These classes are 1 hour each week. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. We're going to be doing how to develop the leader within you. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, that's when we're going to be doing the Grow Through What You Go Through Chasing Failure class. So I'll talk about this more at the end, but I wanted to give you the why. Why are we doing this webinar today? Again, it's meant to be a sneak peek for the courses that we're going to be unveiling, and they literally start next week. And some of y'all have been on these webinars with us for all of them. Thank you. We've had quite a few people, actually more than a few people registering for these. And so we wanted to give an opportunity for people just to get a glimpse of what to expect, ask any questions that you have. But at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we provide this space specifically for leaders, because being in leadership at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we constantly have to improve, constantly have to grow if we're going to be effective. So that's the whole mission of our Maximize Growth Summer Leadership School. Is we really want to have a place where we can just have places and spaces for people to really hone in on critical thinking, strategic planning. And how many of y'all know we're in the people business? So it's literally about having a space to grow and develop so that we can learn how to lead people. And I always like to say, lead from the overflow, because how many of y'all know that one of the hardest people that for you to lead is yourself, right? One of the hardest people, let alone having to lead or motivate somebody else. So again, that's what we want to do, is have this space for y'all. And if y'all will bear with me, my notes just went away on the screen here. So I want to bring these up real quick. And it's just like technology, you have things going prepared and then all of a sudden it just goes away on you. So bear with me just one moment here. And while I'm waiting, will you let me know, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I see Dr. Hall's on here. Who else? Where are you tuning in from? And this is funny because one of the things that I talk about in leadership is people aren't looking for perfect leaders. And how many of y'all know at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. And sometimes it's just a matter of just a having somebody that we can look at and say, how well are they handling their imperfections? So that was a glitch that just happened, but I got it up and running again. All right. So where were we? We're talking about the courses that we're going to be leading today. Today, I've got two books that I want to present to you. One of them is Chasing Failure, and this is by Ryan Leake. This is the book that we're going to be using on the Grow Through What You Go Through course. And in this book, this course, we're going to be talking about how to reframe our minds when it comes to failure. Failure is not final, and it definitely is not the end. It's always meant to be a growth opportunity, right? So, one of the things in this course we want to help participants do is basically just reevaluate your relationship with failure. We want people to understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but it's actually a critical component to it. One of the things that I've had to learn is really, as a leader, how to build my resilience muscle. Because it's not when things go wrong. It's not if they go wrong, it's when they go wrong, right? So one of the things that we have to do is we have to learn how to foster that resiliency. We have to learn how to be creative, be out of the box thinkers, and have a deeper understanding, not only of our strengths, but we also need a deeper understanding of our weaknesses too. We need to understand how to improve our bounce back muscle, because one of the things about leadership is you're out front and people are constantly looking at you, right? Hello? I got both hands up. And when people are looking at you, we need to make sure, not that we're trying to be perfect, not that we're trying to be on all the time, but we want to make sure that we've built up enough resilience, enough self awareness about ourselves so that when challenges come, we know how to navigate through them, or know how to go to the right resources, or how to recover faster, right? And so, that's what this whole teaching on grow through what you go through is really understanding that we're all human beings. At the end of the day, here's the thing, we're either on our way into something or on our way out of something or in the messy middle. Hello? And so some of the objectives in this grow through what you go through course that we're going to be going over, like I mentioned, we're going to redefine failure. We're going to have an opportunity to look at it not as a setback in a negative way, but we want to look at it as a stepping stone. You could look at your life right now and you could see certain times where you had a setback or you had a challenge. And then you can fast forward to today. And wouldn't you agree that because that thing happened? Now, if we could do it differently, of course, I would choose not to participate in a lot of them. But if you could really look at it, don't you agree that you're stronger now because of it? Don't you agree that you're a wiser person, you're a wiser leader because of it? If that's you, just say yes in the comments. If that's you, if you can look at your life today and say, you know what? Actually, everything that I've gone through has actually prepared me for where I'm at right now. Anybody? If that's you, type yes in the comments. I see you, Dr. Nodos. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's about just redefining our mindsets when it comes to failure, and then having the right tools and the right strategies to build that resilience muscle. Sometimes, a lot of times, when we think about the definition of insanity, it's doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. But what we've got to do to be the kind of effective leaders that we know that we're called to be is we have to learn how to say, you know what? Maybe the strategies that I've tried in the past are not working. Maybe it's time for some new tools, some new strategies, some new methods. And it takes resilience, it takes courage to be able to say, you know what? That didn't work. Let me try again. Or let me start over. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of resilience for that, for sure. The other thing is risk management. I do a teaching around the personalities when it comes to DISC personality assessments. And I believe that there's some personalities that will take risk more than most. Some people are they're easier to say yes to something or easier to try something, and then you have some people who are processors, and being a processor, sometimes they have to weigh the pros cons. They have to make sure it's safe, make sure it's going to work, all those things. But all of us as leaders can improve in this area when it comes to risk management, and understand that taking a calculated risk and learning how to manage potential failure effectively can actually work for us. It can actually work for us. The other thing in this course, in a lot of my courses, it's always an opportunity for self reflection. It gives us an opportunity to really take inventory of our strengths, of our weaknesses, of our opportunities. It helps us to be able to kind of assess so that we can be the kind of people who are courageous when it comes to risk management, or at least move the needle 1% and improve in that way. Another thing that this course hopefully will help you to do is, again, like all my other courses, is really help you to continue to operate from a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset says something like, you know what, that didn't work. That was a failure. I'm done, or I'm not going to try anymore. But a growth mindset says, you know what, I'm going to look at all of the challenges, all of the opportunities. I'm going to look at all of it and see the growth in it. I'm going to see the growth in it. I'll be honest, right now, I'm in a transitional season of my own life, just to be fully transparent. I'm in a place where I'm getting ready to go. Well, not getting ready to, I am back in school. And I've been an entrepreneur full time for 20 years now. I have worked for myself full time. I have team, I have subcontractors, I have intern, I have employee, all that kind of stuff. And I decided that I wanted to finish what I've started. Well, a lot of years have passed since I graduated high school, and I did have some college credit, but I've been full-time entrepreneur. And so I decided that instead of looking at that as a lost cause, I decided to pick it back up. That's the growth mindset, to say, you know what? It's not too late. It's not too late, and I can complete what I started. Now, how I'm doing this, strategies are certainly different because of the phase of life I'm in, the season of life that I'm in. That's just one small example. And as leaders, we should always be the ones leading the charge when it comes to having a growth mindset. I like to say that I'm a glass half full person. There's always a way. There's always something that can be done. And we need this when it comes to problem solving, when it comes to having vision, when it comes to leading, period. Right? Would you agree? The next one is leadership adaptability. This is something else that you can get from this course as we're talking about this book, Chasing Failure, and growing through what you go through. It's about enhancing your adaptive leadership skills and being able to navigate, wait for it, through uncertainty and change. I want y'all to think about when we were in the middle of the pandemic. When you say there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of change that was happening, and we needed leaders like never before, didn't we? We needed people who could have the growth mindset like we're talking about, who could even in the face of uncertainty, really just bring people together on common ground to help people refocus on the why again, to refocus on the mission again. And even though, yeah, as leaders, we're still going to have questions, we're going to have days, we're going to have moments where we're uncertain about things. But at the end of the day, being the kind of leader who says, you know what, I'll go first, I'll be part of the solution, I will try, I will lead. Does that make sense? We need this. We need it. Dr. Hall says we needed Jesus. We still do, Dr. Hall. We still do. Always, always, always. Thank you, Dr. Hall, for that. Thank you so much. But yeah, so those are some things that in this course for grow through what you go through is we want to make sure that we're not just giving up at the first sign of adversity. We want to make sure that we're doing things to embrace failure, to learn the lessons, and to make it our new normal. To, in so many ways, be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, and that doesn't mean that, again, it does not mean that we've got to be perfect. It doesn't mean that we have to put on airs and pretend like everything's okay. It's really just about being a human at the end of the day. And even in this, what I'm talking about and what we're going to be talking about is always knowing that we need a supportive network with everything that we're doing. We need a supportive network. We have to be the kind of leaders that we have mentors and coaches. Practically speaking, we have to be the kind of leaders where we have people um that are our peers that are checking on us, that are holding us capable, holding us accountable, but that can be mutually beneficial as well. We have to be the kind of leaders that we know that somebody's always watching, and we don't always have to show um, something that's fake or phony. At the end of the day, if you have the right support, if you have the right people that are checking in and checking on you, then basically you get to be in a place where you lead from the overflow versus leading from a place of deficit or a place of burnout or a place where you do have this fixed mindset where you think nothing's going to work, that's not going to change. We get to have this growth mindset. So again, those are just some of the learning objectives or things that we're aiming for people to get out of this course. Now, I want to talk more about tools and strategies. I want to kind of elaborate more on that, because when we talk about building resiliency and literally having a determination where we can face adversity with the growth mindset that I talked about, I'm going to talk about some tools here. I actually have about 7 of them. And again, this is a sneak peek or a preview for this course, because I think being able to have a safe place as a leader where you can talk about these things and navigate, it gives you greater strength and greater ability to be able to navigate your teams, your staff, your whatever that looks like for you, the people that you're leading. It could be students in a classroom, it could be your faculty, it could be your staff, whatever that looks like for you. So, y'all ready for this? So, one of the first ones that I want to talk about is, and this is depending on where you are. Um, this can be certainly personal to you, but prayer, meditation, those are tools right there that can help you be able to manage stress and be able to stay in that strength zone. So prayer, meditation, mindfulness, being able to have those moments where you can literally just put the world on pause, right? Just be able to put the world on pause and really just hone in, understanding that this is bigger than you, you know, being able to make it, I hate to use the word easier, but being able to face adversity with a clear mind, to be able to enhance your focus on life, on your role, your responsibilities. And as I share these, I would love for you in the chat to tell me, do you do this? Does this work for you? So, another tool for you to where you can build resilience and literally help determine how you face adversity is positive self talk. How are you talking to yourself, and how are you talking about yourself? I have this slide that I use in a lot of presentations that I got off of social media. I don't even know who the author was, but one of the things it talks about is what's within your control. And what's within your control is how you talk to yourself and how you talk about yourself. We have to be the kind of leaders that we learn how to replace our negative thoughts with more positive thoughts. Positive, when I say self talk, positive self talk, it could be things that you're saying to yourself like, I am capable, I am necessary, I am here for a reason, I do have a purpose, I am called to this. Are y'all following me? That's positive self talk because what you're doing is you are taking the lead to say, it is my responsibility to change my mind about how I see myself and how I talk to myself to build that morale, to have this positive mindset. And when you do this for yourself, guess what? It becomes much, much easier for you to be able to validate and affirm somebody else. Because here's the thing, if we're not doing it for ourselves, leaders, we don't, it's hard to do it for other people. But, or here's the other part of it. Sometimes we do it for other people and we neglect ourselves. Either way, what I'm saying is we should be the example here on the power of speaking positively to yourself and about yourself. Um, Dr. Nettle says, yes, daily practices. And I see Dr. Christine Hall says, every day I would go crazy if I didn't talk to the master. I know he is tired of me. And you know what I love? Dr. Hall is he never gets tired. And I know you're talking about the first one when I talked about prayer and meditation and mindfulness. That's the cool thing is that's the one place that I know that we can go that he doesn't get tired of us. In fact, he wants us to come to him and rely on him as the source, right? Number three tool is goal setting. Goal setting is where we have to learn how to be realistic, and I'm gonna tell myself again, I'm a visionary. I love to dream. I love to, just think the impossible, But at the end of the day, I love to also, and this is me being a mindful leader or a self aware leader, I love to surround myself with people who can help keep it realistic so that we can have not just realistic goals, but achievable goals, you know? Um, and this also speaks to the why. Why do we do what we do? So that when we have a task in front of us, a project, a team, whatever that looks like, we want to always make sure we go to why are we doing this? And goal setting helps with that because it's the thing that can help us set and maintain our motivation for sure. And we want to also make sure that we're breaking our larger tasks down into manageable steps so that we don't overwhelm ourselves. I know sometimes can overwhelm myself because we have so many different things in the business that we're working on now, and it's good. It's good stuff, y'all. We can overwhelm ourselves with good stuff. And if we're not careful, we can also burn ourselves out thinking that we have to be the one to do it all when really we need to have a good goal. We need to be able to know who the support is, so to speak, and know who to delegate certain things to. And all of this is wrapped around having a good goal setting plan for sure, so that we can stay focused, but also so that we can celebrate our wins or we can course correct along the way. So that's one tool. The other one is physical activity. Now, this is one that I know when I exercise, when I do things to really, again, this is part of that self care. It helps me to really stay in the moment and stay present when it comes time for me to be on with my projects for different things. And I can also tell the moments when I'm neglecting my physical activity because I'm tired more. And this could mean things like drinking water, it could mean just taking time to rest, getting proper sleep. Hello? Am I talking to anybody? you know, all of these things really help reduce our stress. And so we know ourselves, we know our bodies, we know when we're on, we know when we're not, we know when it's time to regroup. So we definitely want to make sure that we pay attention to this because that itself could be a tool for building resiliency. Another one, I talked about this already, is having a strong support network. You know, we need friends, we need family, we need mentors, we need people that can check in on us, that can call on us, call us out and call us up. Right, we need a strong support network, and this helps during the good times, because when things are great, who do you call? Who's celebrating with you? But when things are bad, who also is checking on you? And we don't need people there just for the highlights only. We need people there for the times where it does get tough. We need people that can help us and be that support to navigate all the times, not just when things are good, because anybody can jump on the bandwagon when things are good, but who's there for you when it's challenging, when maybe like Dr. Hall says, sleep. Yes, maybe when you are not getting enough sleep, somebody can check on you and say, hey, I noticed that you've been, this or that. How's your sleep? How are you doing? And being able to have the kind of support where we can answer from an authentic place, right? So, another one, and I've talked about these in the last webinars that we've done. Continuous learning, believe it or not, this is a constant thing. Continuous learning will also be that thing to help you build that resilience muscle and actually help you be more proactive when it comes to dealing with the challenging times. I like to say that when we're constantly feeding our minds, guess what? When it's time for us to be on, we're pulling from the overflow of that. For example, y'all see my library right here. This is not even all of my books, you know, but I love to read. I love to listen. I love to learn. And I don't like to always just do it when it's time for me to speak. I like to do it continuously so that when I'm in a training environment, when I'm speaking, when I'm coaching, guess what? I'm literally pulling from the reservoir of what I've already done, not just when it's time for me to be on. So, continuous learning actually is a good thing because it keeps your mind ready and active so that you can be the kind of leader who is resourceful. Right. And then the last one, when it comes to building that resiliency and being able to really face adversity or be in a place of readiness, is adaptability training. There are some things that will come natural to us, but then there's other things that, y'all, we have to practice. We have to practice. So just because we may have failed at being adaptable or flexible in one part of our life or a season doesn't mean that we can't work on it and practice it so that we can be better. Because what's the saying? When you know better, you do better, or you should anyway, right? But when we can learn how to practice being flexible and open to change, guess what? This helps us to learn how to embrace the uncertainties of our lives. It helps us also to recover faster. You know, it helps us to be more self aware. So when we have times of change, when we have times of uncertainty, we can also be the kind of leader where we can, behind closed doors with our support team, say, hey, I'm nervous about this, or I'm scared about this. Like, I know this is good and all, but I just need a moment. And if you have the right support team, they'll give you the moment, but then they'll say, okay, I get it, but you got this, right? And again, this is crucial. This is crucial. As leaders, how many of you all, just from some of the things that I shared with you just now, how many of you, was there something in that, in those 7 things? And I repeat, the prayer, meditation, mindfulness, that was number one. Positive self talk, goal setting, physical activity, which does include our sleep, our rest, drinking our water, support networks, continuous learning, adaptability training. Was there one particular thing in that that really stood out to you to say, you know what? I do need to do better in that area, or I do need to pay more attention to that area in my life. And again, that's what this whole course, Grow Through What You Go Through, is talking about. And some of y'all might be sitting there thinking, but I'm good right now. I don't have anything, I don't have any issues. But again, what if we were proactive and we just really learned how to learn the things that we needed to learn so that when we need them, we'll be ready, right? Like I mentioned, like tapping into that reservoir of things. Or maybe, just maybe, this is not for you. Maybe as a leader, this is a course that you can take so that you can help your team members, whether it's your staff, students. Maybe it's something that you can take to get the right tools to help them. So then you can become more of an empathetic leader and not the kind of leader who says, oh, just get over it, you know, or all of the things that typically people would say, right? So again, everything that I just shared from that's a sneak preview of this, how to grow through what you go through. And this is all around this book, Chasing Failure. Failure does not have to stop you. Failure can literally be your stepping stone for sure. So that's that one. And then the next one that I wanted to highlight today was, this is the next book, and this is by my mentor, Dr. John Maxwell, and that is High Road Leadership. If you're familiar with John Maxwell, you know that he has written, I don't even know the number, countless numbers of books now, but this is the very latest book. And again, I'm in the John Maxwell team. I was super excited when I got this copy. He signed it himself for me. But we actually have the license to utilize this content for this book. And the same with Chasing Failure. Maximize Growth, we have the license to actually do this course as well. And so this is really about taking the high road as a leader and being the kind of leader who doesn't divide people, but actually the kind of leader who can bring people together. And how many of y'all know we need that more than ever, right? Without pointing fingers, without naming names, we need to be the kind of leaders. I love how Truett Cathy from Chick-fil-A says, the change that I wish to see, it must begin in me. And I don't know about you, but I want to be the kind of leader that I am literally saying, you know what? I am part of the solution. I want to be. I want to be part of the solution. I don't necessarily want to be part of the complaining committee or part of the people who are griping about every little thing. I want to know that I did my part. And in some cases, probably more than my part, right? And so in this, we're going to talk about focusing on leading with authenticity, inclusivity, and ethical responsibility. And at the end of the day, we want to be the kind of leaders who practically know how to apply a lot of what we're talking about. And how does this help us, or why does this help us? Because at the end of the day, think about our world. Think about our world right now. We're in the people business. And I'm going to share some of the content from this book that we're going to be talking about here. We're going to talk about, like I just said, how to bring people together. We're going to talk about the need for valuing people. Like literally, I love how Dr. Maxwell said every day when he wakes up, he says, I ask myself, who can I add value to today? And I've started adopting that myself. Who can I add value to today? It could be family, it could be friends, it could be my team, but who can I add value to today? The other one is acknowledge your humanness. Now we just got through talking about the course on chasing failure. Wouldn't you say that's acknowledging humanness? Because you're saying, you know what? I may not have all the answers. I may not be perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be the kind of person who is able to face a challenge or face an adversity, and some might take longer than others, but I'm going to learn from it. Right. Another one is do the right things for the right reasons. Do the right things for the right reasons. Um, the next one is give more than you can take. There's another book, has nothing to do with this one, but it's called The Go Giver. And in that book, he's talking about give without keeping score. And what if, I just want you to go there in your mind, what if as leaders, we were the kind of leaders that we said, let's talk about value, for example. I'm going to give more value than I expect in return. I'm going to give without keeping score. Something to think about, right? Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is developing emotional capacity, you know, and then we're going to talk about place people above your own agenda. We want to be the kind of leaders where we have a growth mindset, but we also want to be that high road leader where we help other people have a growth mindset, and not just that, help them with a growth plan for their life, for their career. And then we want to talk about how to embrace authenticity, because I know at the end of the day, that's not always easy, especially when you're the one out front. Because what's the thing they say about leadership? People like you until they don't. One decision could mean, somebody's going to be upset with you for something, right? But nevertheless, there's a way that we can embrace authenticity from a place of power, from a place of respect, but from a place of progress as well. And then we're going to talk about how to take accountability for your actions, how to live by the bigger picture. I just talked about don't keep score, and then desire the best for others. These are some of the highlights in this book right here, High Road Leadership. And we want to learn in this course how to break barriers, but how to be a bridge builder at the same time. So today, like I mentioned, and I didn't take as much time on the chasing failure because I'm sorry, on the high road leadership, because I feel like it's self-explanatory in some of the titles that I shared. But at the end of the day, when we think about leadership development here at Maximize Growth, we think about development from the inside out. So this is a course where we're going to be really honing in on that development, but it's going to be a deeper dive for sure. And it's going to teach us how to apply the principles in our everyday settings. And I just believe that a lot of stuff that we learn will transfer over into our home life just as well as they'll transfer into our professional life as well. So, again, today I really wanted to just take some time to really just share those two courses that are, and let me just kind of go through all of them again. The courses that we're going to be doing for this summer leadership school, we're going to be doing, let me get it right here, how to become an effective communicator. And we're going to be going over how to develop the leader within you. We're going to be going over grow through what you go through, and that is about chasing failure. And then we're also going to be talking about leading with the high road, and we're going to be talking about breaking barriers and building bridges. So, one of the things, again, I want to say these courses actually start next week. Two of them are 8-week courses, the developing the leader within you and how to become an effective communicator. If you are a certified educator in the state of Alabama, you are eligible to get a PLU credit, which is professional learning U credit for this course. We've been approved by the Alabama Council for Leadership Development to provide PLU credit for people who complete these two courses. The other two, Grow Through What You Go Through and Leading with the High Road, those are going to be 6-week courses. And again, all four of these will be done 1 hour each week, where we'll be able to take you through. And my facilitation style, um, it's interactive. So, like right now, you're watching me on a webinar and I'm doing all the talking and I'm reading comments, but we'll be doing these in a Zoom setting. And I love to do the facilitation where I'm not the only one talking. I make it interactive because at the end of the day, I want it to be something where not only are you coming to get the information and coming to get the knowledge, I want it to be where you feel like you are also being able to network with other course participants. I want you to feel like you're almost getting this group coaching session, but also it's an opportunity for you to have an outlet for you to be able to share your ideas and and really process the information and really help with showing you some ways that you can just not just come and get it, but learn how to get it and take it and implement it where you are. So, if anyone has any particular questions, I would love for you to post here. I think my chat went off. I don't really see any comments right here, but registration is still open. We do have a special where you can get $10 off, and I'll go ahead and put this on here. We have this open, I believe, until today. So if you scan the QR code or if you put something in the chat, okay, my comments are starting to come in now. I see the link that Miss Alicia put in the chat for us. So you can either use that link or you can scan the QR code. Dr. Hall has a question here. Let's see. Dr. Hall says, you spoke about PLU, so will the latter two courses have that same reward? Dr. Hall, I don't have the PLU approval for the latter two right now. Doesn't mean I won't later, but right now it's only for the first two that I mentioned. There is a process that we have to go through to get it approved, and I have not completed that process yet for the summer, but I can confirm that the how to become an effective leader, I'm sorry, effective communicator and developing the leader within you, those are definitely PLU approved for sure. Thank you for asking that question. All right. Well, if you, again, if you have any questions about this and you want to know more information, you can actually reach out to us. The email address would be courses at maximizedgrowthllc.com. And I'll put this in the chat here. You're welcome, Dr. Hall. We have courses at maximizedgrowthllc.com. Dr. Hall, I will mention we do have some other PLU approved courses that if you want to have another conversation about that, because we are offering those for in-person workshops at schools or for different groups for in the educational setting. So if you want to have a deeper conversation about that or want to get the catalog for what those other courses are, if you'll email courses at maximizedgrowthllc.com, we can certainly get that over to you for sure. But thank y'all so much for being on this webinar series. Again, this is the third one, and we wanted to take some time to really promote and give you all a preview of our summer leadership school and loving the responses that we're getting so far. For those of you who have already registered, we sent out kind of just like a welcome email, but be on the lookout in your email boxes, I would say by Monday, because you're going to get more information about your particular course that you signed up for. But again, if you have any questions, anything, feel free to reach us at courses at maximizedgrowthllc.com. Thank y'all again so much for being on the call, being on this webinar with me today. And again, our passion, our mission is to really help develop leaders from the inside out. So thank you for investing in you today. Thank you for investing in you today. And we will see you soon. Bye.